Keir Starmer is under fire once again, this time embroiled in a growing Brexit controversy that has sparked accusations of secrecy and betrayal. Nigel Farage, a relentless champion of Brexit, is demanding full transparency from Starmer after the Labour leader's statements about the UK's future relationship with the European Union raised alarms about Labour's true intentions. Farage has publicly called for Starmer to clarify his position, warning that any hidden plans to realign the UK with the EU would amount to a betrayal of the British people's decision to leave. The controversy erupted after Starmer made comments suggesting that Labour's strategy for post-Brexit Britain would focus on closer cooperation with the EU, including economic alignment. Critics quickly seized on these remarks, accusing Starmer of using coded language to signal his desire to rejoin the EU's single market or customs union, despite repeated assurances that Brexit was done. Farage has seized the opportunity to question Starmer's sincerity and has called for a full disclosure of Labour's plans moving forward. "This is the moment where Keir Starmer must come clean," Farage stated in an urgent call to action. "The British people voted to leave the EU, and we will not tolerate anyone trying to drag us back into the fold under the guise of cooperation." Starmer needs to be clear. Is he truly committed to respecting Brexit, or is he planning a slow return to the EU's control? Farage's comments have ignited a firestorm of debate, particularly among Brexiteers who view Starmer's stance as a direct threat to the independence the UK fought so hard to achieve. For many, the fear is that Starmer, a prominent figure in the Remain campaign, has never truly accepted the result of the 2016 referendum and is quietly working to reverse it. If Starmer's Labour Party gets into power, we could end up rejoining the EU without ever having another referendum, Farage warned. This is not just about policy. This is about the very future of Britain's sovereignty. Public reaction has been swift and fierce. The hashtag Starmer betrayal has gained traction online, with many voters expressing anger and frustration at what they see as Starmer's attempt to rewrite the terms of Brexit. "We voted to leave the EU. It's done. No going back," one social media user commented. "Starmer is trying to deceive us into thinking otherwise." On the other hand, Labour supporters argue that Starmer's calls for economic cooperation with the EU are in line with the current global economic realities and not a backdoor attempt to undo Brexit. They contend that Starmer's approach aims to ensure the UK's future success outside the EU while still maintaining strong trading relationships with European countries. Yet, the controversy remains unresolved. Analysts warn that this issue could become the focal point of the next general election, particularly as Labour tries to balance the needs of Remain voters in cities with the concerns of Leave voters in traditional Labour heartlands. Starmer is now faced with the difficult task of either quelling suspicions over his true Brexit stance or risking further alienation among the electorate. As Farage and others continue to demand answers, the political temperature is rising. "The British public deserves to know where Starmer truly stands," Farage said. "This is about trust, and right now the trust isn't there." The stakes are high for Starmer and Labour, as the next few months could define the party's future and its relationship with the EU. Whether Starmer will be able to convince voters of his commitment to respecting Brexit or whether this controversy will cost him dearly remains to be seen. One thing is clear, the Brexit debate is far from over, and the nation's future direction is still very much in play.